a village tucked beneath the sky, where wishes dance and dreamers fly, lives Coffee Rabbit, sweet and bright, who brews up warmth in the cool of night. But something stirs in the land of dreams, where nothing is ever quite as it seems. The colors fade, the magic slows, and where the stardust, no one knows. So come along, both young and small, to a land where dreams will rise and fall. Through riddles, clouds, and fields of light, we'll follow Coffee Rabbit's flight. With Whisker by her side, she'll roam, to bring the magic dust back home. And in her journey, you'll soon see how dreams are saved by you and me.
Hello there, welcome to the palace. Let's begin the story of Dream Dust Rescue. In the heart of a little quiet village, nestled among the trees and twinkling stars, stood Coffee Rabbit's warm and inviting café. It was a place where warmth wrapped around you like a soft blanket, and the scents of cinnamon, cocoa, and magic filled the air. Every evening, the village folks gather here, with their hearts light and their dreams even lighter. But tonight, something was different. As Coffee Rabbit stirred her signature hot cocoa with a pinch of marshmallow fluff, she sensed a hush fall over the cafe. The folks whispered softly, their gazes lowered. "Funny thing," said Mrs. Topsy, the tabby cat. "My dreams. They've turned dull. No more dancing rainbows or flying teacups, just grey. Boring grey." Coffee Rabbit's long ears twitched. This wasn't right at all. Dreams in this village were always colourful, always full of wonder. She looked over at the dream catcher hanging by the cafe window. Its usual sparkle was gone. Something was definitely not right with the dreams lately. What could be happening? That night, long after the last customer had left, Coffee Rabbit sat at her kitchen table, her brow furrowed in thought. Whisker the Squirrel, her ever-cheerful friend, sat beside her, nibbling on a cookie. Dreams, dreams, dreams. Why would they go grey? Whisker wondered aloud, his whiskers twitching. Suddenly, his eyes caught something. "The dream catcher?" he squeaked, pointing. "Look. It's lost its sparkle." Indeed, the delicate web that had always shimmered with magic dust, now appeared dull and lacking. Coffee Rabbit couldn't help but shiver at the sight. "There's no time to waste," she declared. "We must go to the land of good dreams and figure out what's wrong." The next morning, as the sun stretched its golden fingers over the meadow, Coffee Rabbit and Whisker set off on their journey. They padded through soft grass, past drowsy trees, until they arrived at a misty meadow where an old, wise mushroom sat. "Do you seek the land of good dreams?" the old mushroom asked in a slow, sleepy voice. "Well, I cannot allow you to pass unless you solve my riddle." Coffee Rabbit and Whisker exchanged a glance. They knew riddles were never easy. The old mushroom grinned and began. "I have no mouth, but I can sing. I have no wings, but I can fly. What am I?" Coffee Rabbit thought hard. Her nose twitched in concentration. Just then, a gentle gust of wind rustled her fur. She smiled. "A breeze," she said. "You are a breeze." The old mushroom let out a chuckle and nodded. "Correct. You may move along." With that, the mist cleared a path, revealing the shimmering entrance to the land of good dreams. The land of good dreams was just as enchanting as Coffee Rabbit had always dreamed. Above them, the sky was filled with floating clouds, each one a different shade of pastel. Stars twinkled even in daylight, and a soft melody could be heard drifting through the air. Yet something wasn't quite right. The dream dust that should have sparkled like diamonds was spread thin, almost faded. At the foot of the tallest tree perched Bloom the owl, her feathers exuding wisdom and softness. She blinked her large golden eyes as Coffee Rabbit and Whisker approached near. "Ah, visitors from the waking world," she hooted, "I know why you have come. The dream dust. It has been blocked. And without it, the dreams are slowly fading away." "Blocked?" Coffee Rabbit inquired. Bloom the owl nodded solemnly. "There is a creature, known as Nightshade, who lives in the shadows, and hoards the dream dust for himself. You must find him if you wish to restore the dreams." She plucked a silver feather from her wing and offered it to Coffee Rabbit. "Take this," she spoke gently. "It will guide you through the dream clouds. Beware. Nightshade enjoys posing riddles, and he is quite wily." Coffee Rabbit and Whisker continued their journey through the land of good dreams, where they stumbled upon the River of Dreams, a sparkling stream of liquid stardust. Normally, it flowed freely, delivering dreams to the village, but today it was just a mere trickle. On the riverbank sat a tiny hedgehog, his little boat secured next to him. "I'll ferry you across," the hedgehog said, scratching his nose. "But only if you share a story with me, a wonderful, magical story, full of enchantment and charm." Coffee Rabbit took a moment, then began her story. Once, there was a brave rabbit who traveled across the vast ocean on a ship made of cinnamon sticks, sailing through a sea of honey. Along the way, she encountered clouds made of fluffy whipped cream, and they invited her to join in their grand feast in the sky. The hedgehog's eyes lit up with joy, and he chuckled. "That's the kind of story I like," he exclaimed, helping them aboard the boat. And together, they sailed across the glistening river. Across the river, Coffee Rabbit and Whisker found themselves in a meadow of dandelions. The soft white heads bobbed back and forth in the gentle wind, each carrying tiny dream seeds in their puffs. But today, the puffs were not floating away as they usually did. The field had an air of sadness, and the dream seeds remained rooted to the ground. Out of nowhere, a tiny sprite with wings as delicate as dandelion fluff appeared. "I'm Dandy," he squealed, twirling through the air, "and these poor dandelions have forgotten how to dream. They need to laugh again." Coffee Rabbit smiled. "What if we play a game?" Dandy's eyes sparkled with excitement. "A game?" Yes, they played tag among the dandelions, their joyful laughter echoing through the air. And as they laughed, the dandelions were reminded of their magic, sending puffs of dream seeds soaring into the sky once more. With Dandy's help, Coffee Rabbit and Whisker were lifted into the fluffy dream clouds, using the silver feather from Bloom the owl as their guide. The clouds were constantly shifting, sometimes pink like cotton candy, sometimes lavender like the evening sky. But as they ascended, the soft and inviting clouds grew darker, heavier, as if something was draining the colors away. The air became thick, and the light dimmed. "Nightshade's lair must be close," Coffee Rabbit whispered. Undeterred, they pressed on with determination in their hearts. At last, they arrived at a gloomy corner of the land of good dreams, where abandoned and faded dreams covered the ground like withered petals. It was a somber place, where dreams that had lost their vibrancy came to rest. But Coffee Rabbit knew this was where Nightshade lurked. "Stay close," she whispered to Whisker. "We're nearly there." Tucked away in the dimmest corner of the land of lost dreams, they found Nightshade. He was a creature formed from swirling shadows, his eyes glinting with a mischievous twinkle as he lounged on a mound of stolen dream dust. "Well, well, well," Nightshade purred, "you've come to reclaim your precious dream dust. I will give it back," he taunted with a sly smirk, but only if you can solve my riddles. And thus, the game of riddles began. Nightshade posed his final riddle, which proved to be the trickiest of them all. What can fill a room without taking up any space? Coffee Rabbit thought long and hard. The answer came to her like a whisper on the wind. Imagination, she uttered quietly. It's imagination. Nightshade's eyes widened in astonishment. Clever rabbit, he said, with a hint of admiration in his voice. The dream dust is yours. Holding the precious dream dust with them, Coffee Rabbit and Whisker hurried to the heart of the land of good dreams. There, they released the dust back into the sky, and a burst of color illuminated the village, restoring magic to every dream once again. Back in the village, the dream catcher hanging in Coffee Rabbit's café emits a brilliant glow once again, casting vibrant hues on the walls of the village. As the village folks woke up the next morning, they shared stories of their fantastic dreams, filled with rainbows, floating castles in the sky, and thrilling adventures in faraway lands. Their eyes were full of wonder and excitement as they recounted these magical experiences. That evening, the cafe was buzzing with laughter and joy as everyone gathered for a grand celebration. The scent of freshly baked cakes, warm cocoa, and tales of the most wondrous dreams floated through the air. Coffee Rabbit leaned back in her chair, content with a light heart and her whiskers twitching with happiness. Looking up at the starry sky, she realized that sometimes, all it takes is a little imagination to bring color back into our lives. I hope you've enjoyed listening to this story. See you in the next one. Good night.